Alright guys, so government, where's my phone call? Phone call on YouTube. 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 Few people make it to heaven. Really God? Not a very nice person. Buddy. God's not very nice. Maybe God's awesome and I'm evil. And that's why I live such low life. Sorry guys, I didn't know all the rich people are living low lives because they haven't got magic powers or anything. Powers are where it's at, man. That's where we should be. We should be 30,000 years in the future, man. Overnight. Pray your flight doesn't take place in winter, well there's plenty of territory to fly around in, man. I'm gonna fly. I wanna fly. I think I can fly. I think I can fly. Skiing accident. So that's World Evil, guys, and you've got to be sober. You want to be sober for when the shit hits the fan, man, so you can deal with that shit and save lives. You know, you got to be sober to save lives. I'll look that scripture up for you. I think it's something like the wise man saves lives. Bible. Yeah. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. So yeah, you want to be sober if you want to save lives. sober. You can't be drunk and save a life. It's really hard. Or you should be sober while you're drunk. All sorts of things can make you can knock you off your feet, like a coffee or a meal can make you unbalanced, you know. I want to be a tree of life. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. Fruit of the righteous. Here's another. Okay, we'll go to this translation. I'll read you some other. The seeds of good deeds become a tree of life. I can believe that. That's a much better translation, man. That is a much better translation. I understand that way more than I understand the fruit of the righteous as a tree of life, you know. I understand seeds more than I understand fruit. Seeds of good deeds becomes a tree of life. It says instead of a wise person saves lives, a wise person wins friends. And whoever captures souls is wise. I like the sound of capturing souls, man. I don't want to win them, I want to capture them. Gain souls. I want to win, I want to capture them and gain them. The one who is wise gains souls. Win them. Okay, I can win souls. But winning souls is my hardest one. A cunning person takes the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, but a cunning person takes lives. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, but violence takes lives. So I've got multiple translations. I've got a translation for evil and a translation for good, and it's probably both. It's like a quantum. God's kind of quantum. I think God's quantum, you know, guys. If you could explain God in a way, well, part of him could be more than binary anyway, just good versus evil, or 1-0. It's like he exists but doesn't exist at the same time. There is a spoon but no spoon. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the souls of the evil will be removed. But the souls of transgressors are cut off before their time. And if you live right, and you will eat from the life-giving tree, and if you act wisely, others will follow. There you go, man. That's another good one. Others will follow. Righteousness gives life, but violence takes it away. The one who takes lives is a sage. But violence takes lives away. And he who plucks that life is wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who plucks that life is wise. So that's talking about being tapped, like you're righteous and someone else taps you instead of you tapping them. So they tap you, it's like they pluck you and they eat you or they pluck you, and they do whatever you do after you're plucked. I guess you eat. You pluck and eat. You pluck and eat, man. You pluck and eat. You pluck and eat. You pluck and eat. Pluck and eat, guys. Pluck and eat. 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 So this is like planked. This stuff's planked. This scriptures, the multiple translations are all planked, you know. It's like construction of a bonfire right here. So it's saying don't be violent because you lose lives. Violence takes lives. Or maybe suffer the violence. Why do I suffer this violence? The fruit of consistently righteous is a tree of life, and he who is wise captures and wins souls for God. He gathers them for eternity. A truthful witness saves lives, but one who utters lies is deceitful. The wicked desire the plunder of evil men, but the root of the righteous flourishes. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her, and those who lay hold of her are blessed. In old age they will still bear fruit, healthy and green they will remain. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To the one who overcomes I will grant the right to eat from the tree of life in the paradise of God. Consider this, whoever turns a sinner from the error of his way will save his soul from death and cover over a multitude of sins. Though I am free of obligation to anyone, I make myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. There you go. Feck. Breach in the spirit. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. I like these ones. I want to shine, guys. Oh, I hate a gold to shine. Once upon a time. Maybe I've just been... Maybe I never had it in me. And they that turn many to the righteousness as the stars for and ever and ever. And he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And he that reapeth wages, and gathereth fruit unto life eternal, that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. For he was astonished, and all that were with him, at the draught of fishes which they had taken. That's all the proverbs along. It's all the links that it's given me. And I'll read, he who brings trouble on his house will inherit the wind, and the fool will be the servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner. I feel like such a sinner right now. Oh man. But I do weigh 60 kg, but it's my own fault for just smoking tobacco and cannabis. Not being wise with my money. I mean, I could have been eating really well. I should be taking care of myself rather than freaking giving myself headaches, man. How the hell? I'm not a righteous man. I had burst fits of anger, but it's because I'm being tortured by the government. Does that count for anything? And nobody knows, and nobody believes. So, the seeds of good deeds become a tree of life. A wise person wins friends. If you act wisely, others will follow. I'm going to tweet that to Elon Musk. I'll tweet the ones about winning souls. Whoever it is. I want gain souls. Twitter. Hey Jackie. Hello. How are you? Hello. What you been doing? I'm streaming at the moment so they can hear my side of the conversation, but they can't hear your side of the conversation. But it should be okay. I won't say. We can just talk and it'll be a video. It'll be a yeah. So I'll have one side of a one-sided conversation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah. Honestly, they won't hear your voice. They can't hear your voice. It's just it says the stream's done through the computer, and I'm obviously talking to you on my cell phone. So yeah. Yeah, I was just tweeting to Elon Musk. I was tweeting. I just discovered the scripture. It's got multiple versions, but I'll read you the versions I like. Um, the one I didn't understand the fruit. I kind of had a really vague idea of the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. So. I like the one who's I think I came across it for the one who is wise like saves lives, and then it's got different versions, and basically it says and whoever captures souls is wise, and whoever wins souls, so you've got a wise person wins friends, whoever captures souls, and whoever wins souls, and whoever gathers souls. Yeah. Here's another one. Oh, and the one who wins people is wise. So You're trying to win people. I think you win them for God. Well, you win them for yourself, but by winning them for yourself, you win them for God. You know, because you're for God. So by winning them for yourself, you're winning them for God, and then eventually they're for God as well. Another one was it was where is it? Was it? Oh, the seeds of good deeds become a tree of life. That's yeah. That's the fruit. That's the translation of the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. So it means the seeds of good deeds become a tree of life, and a wise person wins friends. So so yeah, good deeds become like friends, and good deeds become like a tree of life. Yeah, or a tree of life would be even greater than friends because it would consist of friends, but it would also have like all the things that you need for life. Yeah, um, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. These are all the same from the same scripture. They're just different translations. I want to find this one. And he that gaineth souls, I like the feeling of gaineth souls. It means like to me that's like you gain power by gaining souls. You know. Um, and whoever is taking souls is wise. It says taking souls is wise. Here's another one. He who plucks the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who plucks that life is wise. So plucks, that's another translation. Yeah, it's a proverb. Proverbs 11:30. But these are all the, you know how they've got multiple different versions of the Bible and they're all slightly different. Well, these are all the different translations of that same scripture. I think so. Yeah, because well, I think you want to have them. You want to use them all, or at least, yeah, I think you want to use them all in some way. It's like a kind of like layered. Like God would be multifaceted, you know. So, and maybe all the translations are correct in one part or another. I don't know. Maybe that's just how big God is, but maybe there is just one single correct translation sometimes, and they have got it wrong because of context, or they just don't know God, or they're trying to translate in some way that is not of God or something. I don't know. Could be any number of reasons. But yeah, I like winning souls. I think gaining and winning souls is a wise thing to do. Win friends. And good deeds, the fruit of, and because that comes the tree of life. So yeah, I love good deeds. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh wow. They stole her car. Yeah. Yeah, but the world's so hard. How hard is the world, man? And shit, like there's so people make, and they, yeah, all she had and they stole it. Yeah, yeah, but still, it's messed up now, and it shouldn't have been stolen. And she would have probably lost some possessions or something, you know. Yeah. Well, at least she's got youth on her. She's got youth on her side. Just remind her that she's got youth on her side. Cause you said she's 19, eh? Yeah, you get run down, eh? But yeah, yeah, nah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No shit. I blame. Who do I blame? Who can we blame? Yeah, we blame the government. Yeah, that's. Yeah, government's responsible for everything. Yeah, yeah, man. We'll just. Mm. Yeah, it was hot here too. I got a bit sunburned actually. Walked to town, got a kebab. Went and got a kebab. Yeah, man, it was nice. I totally wanted to buy another one, but I couldn't afford it. I couldn't spend the money, and I would have eaten it, and I would have been so full, and it would have been so good. It would have been perfect to have another one right then and there. Yeah, one day I'll be able to have two. Have spent 30 bucks on a meal, and even I want to spend like 30 bucks on like two kebabs, probably like a can of drink or a bottle of drink or something, and a coffee. So that's like 40 bucks. You know, I need like 40 bucks for a meal. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. No, I enjoyed my lunch, but it was kind of I went down about 2 o'clock, I think. Uh, Excuse me. The fool will be the servant to the wise of heart. Uh, who is the wise of heart then? Well, there's plenty of evil people in the world, eh? And God doesn't. God promises a lot, but we don't really click onto it very well, do we? We don't seem to. Like, if Jesus had magic powers and Jesus said, you know, people are going to do greater things than what I did, why can't we do greater things than what he did already? Maybe we've got to be worthy or something, you know? Maybe we have to be worthy. Because you wouldn't just have, like people like Hitler running around with magic powers, you know? Because then. Exactly, yeah. He'd wipe everyone out and then himself. No. Okay. I don't always go to Facebook. I don't always go to Facebook. Sometimes I do, but yeah. Okay. Well, you can't trust magicians though. They're all about illusion, and they're really cunning. It's just tricks, yeah. Have you ever seen Penn and Teller? You never heard of Penn and Teller? Oh, they're like the world's top magicians, well, top illusionists. But they used to have a show on, and they used to do heaps of cool stuff. They ran over this guy with a truck, and like a big, like a big petrol tanker, big semi truck, and they ran him over. And then they showed you how they did it. And what they did is they put ballast on one side of the truck, so it was kind of like slightly leaning up, you know, like leaning on an angle, so it was real heavy on one side. And then they put foam tires, really soft foam tires on the truck, so that when it ran them over, it was like, yeah, it was just really light. So, but it fully looked real, like it fully looked like it was running him over with all its wheels, you know. And he just gets up and runs around. And, yeah. Really? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what they're like, eh? Yeah, just tricks. But Jesus maybe wasn't tricks, you know. And the devil would be real cunning and hiding at Jesus, you know. He wouldn't want the world to discover Jesus, oh no. I know, right? But we've got a God. You think of it more like, well, we've got a devil, but we've also got a God, you know? So, that fucking, excuse my language, but God just more than balances out the devil, you know? in the long run. Because anything the devil can do will only be short term. You know, it's like a lie is only for a short moment. That's the scripture. A lie is only for a short moment. So, you know, and Jesus actually said that there's nothing covered that won't be uncovered. So that means all the murders and all the crimes, all the thefts, they'll all be uncovered, you know, and you'll probably be charged for them, or you know, penalised for them somehow. I'm just going outside. I'll be back soon, stream. Hang on, I'm just going outside for a doobie. Hang on. That was my stream. my haunted house. Yeah. My box, yeah. It's like a jail cell, man. Oh, I looked at realestate.co.nz today, and I discovered this house. It was like two houses, basically, on the same section. One was built in 2019, so it was basically like a brand new house, right across the road from Pack and Save. And, had solar panels, had 4 bedrooms, had 2 bathrooms. It was perfect. And then it had this other house on the section that you could like rent out, you know. Yeah, man. It would be so good to have something like that, you know. Just right across the road from Pack and Save, so yeah. But the rates were quite expensive. The rates were $6,000 a year. Yeah, that's like 120 a week. Yeah, I guess because it's 2 houses. It's 7 bedroom. It was 7 bedrooms in total and 3 bathrooms. So I guess that's why you're paying so much. But you would. I know, right? Yeah. Have a. Nah, you wouldn't like that. We're not allowed. We're not allowed to do that anyway. It's in the lease. Yeah. Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty rude. So the title of my video, my video today has been concentrating on, I got it, hang on, it's gonna take me a little sec. Oh, okay, so, maybe they took them down. No, there it is. I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Governments of the world, where's my money and phone call on YouTube. That's the title of my video. Well, it's not cool, but it's a protest. It's an active. Yeah, where is my money? Yeah, where's my money? Give me my goddamn money. It's not so much about the money. That's the joke. The joke is the money part, but the phone call on YouTube is serious. Yeah, well, the phone call is like, damn, don't you hate when the filter comes out of your cigarette? That's like so. The phone call could make me some money, and it totally exists, and it's been classified, and it's a little piece of truth and history, and it would like set the truth about this technology free, in a way, because I'd be believed a little bit more. They'd be more likely to believe me, and but they'll never, they won't give me a copy of this phone call because of this technology, you know, because they know that that's the first thing I'd talk about. So, and yeah, it's all conspiracy, but it's such a dumb conspiracy because, like, I can't be bothered with it, you know. it's like all this fucking work to do, and I can't be. All this fucking work to do to fucking get this shit out, and I can't be fucked, and I'd rather just fucking smoke weed, yeah. But then to smoke weed, I need to get the conspiracy out, you know. So it's like Catch-22 in a way. Yeah, it's like Catch-22. Yeah. Yeah, it's too much work, eh? Yeah. And most people are cruel and don't care, and but but this is something I've got it's actual evidence, you know, like, well, they know how important it is, but I can't you can't communicate how important it is to someone else until they hear the conversation, you know, that I had. And because it was like 3 days before the attacks, man, 3 days before the attacks. Total conversation about war, how there's going to be a war, laying my life on the line, fucking voice the gleam in my eye, and then the planes hit the buildings, man. So, all coincidence, but that's how it's seen. It's not coincidence because of this technology that I later found out about. But at the time, I kind of thought it was coincidence, you know, or at least a conspiracy. And I kind of pointed to like them having prior knowledge or something, you know. But I see the thing is, I want people to see the conversation, see the phone call I made, and then make up their own opinion, you know, and then ask the governments and see what the governments say, you know, see what their defence is going to be. But at the moment, it's just a complete cover up. It's just a cover up, a conspiracy, a cover up, and they drugged me. So, you know, that's another aspect of the cover up. They drugged me for it. Just to silence me probably and to keep me out of the loop, you know, to keep me shut up and keep me drugged. And are you there? Oh yeah, you are. Cool. Yeah, I know. So, but I mean, so yeah, posterity. So this is for posterity, really. The name of these videos. Governments of the world. Where's my money? And phone call on YouTube. I'm never going to stop talking about this because it is just important, but like I just don't know what to do, you know. My dad's like this. This is like my dad. My dad's like this, has this behaviour, and I can see why no one like I don't believe my dad, and he's all bullshit. But the thing is, I look exactly like my dad, and so I must appear exactly like my dad, like bullshit to everyone, you know. It's like that because I see how my dad appears, and other mental health people appear, you know, and it's all bullshit. But fuck, they can just hide so easily amongst all that bullshit. They just have to get you. They can. So imagine if they could like zap your brain right and cause mental health symptoms or something, you know. And then you're screwed because no one will ever believe a word you say. So the government has the ability to cover up anything they want, really, at the moment. Really, how come? Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, do you want me to look it up? I'll search for acting Prime Minister. Act, acting Prime Minister NZ. The current Deputy Prime Minister is Grant Robertson. No, it doesn't. It just says. No, it doesn't say anything. I can't see anything. Oh no, acting PM Grant Robertson fronts post cabinet press conference as health finance issues arrive. Acting Prime Minister Grant Robertson has addressed a range of issues following today's cabinet meeting, including the plane carrying Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern to Antarctica having to turn around. Maybe, yeah. maybe she's just on holiday. She could be just on holiday. But that was 25th of October, so that was a little while ago. Yeah. I read just a brief little snippet that Jacinda was acting irrationally. Yeah. Yeah, losing her mind a little bit, yeah, because of the election coming up and stuff. Probably, yeah. Mate, I don't know, it might not have been the election then. Apparently she's acting irrationally. But then anyone can say anything about anyone and have it believed, so... She's hysterical. Yeah, I'm sick of being in my jail cell. My dim light. Yeah, I've only got a dim light. To one. Yeah, you got a view and sunlight. Yeah. Yeah, it's not much fun. Yeah. At least if you had a big house or a big lounge, then you could walk around and with your view and you know have your windows open and have the sunshine beaming in. So at least you got sunlight, so you're feeling healthy because of the sunlight. Yeah, I haven't got that healthy sunlight. That's making me ill. I think this. Like, I weighed myself today. Guess how much I weigh? 60 kg. I know. Fucking don't know. This little weight. This fucking little. Yeah, I'm 6 foot. So fuck. Yeah, just little. I'm so little. It's because I'm walking everywhere and I'm not eating very much and just not eating right. I'm not eating enough. It's not well, yeah, I'm not eating right, but I'm not eating enough. I could eat 3 times. I think I could eat 3 times as much, or even 4 times as much as what I eat at the moment. Imagine me with an extra 30. If I went up from 60 kg to 90 kg, imagine that. There's like 30 kg of extra body weight to like help me navigate the world. You know. That would be a lot of muscle. That would be like a lot of bone and a lot of muscle. So it wouldn't just be fat. It would be bone and muscle as well. You know. So I really do need to work on my diet, I guess, which is smoking. I need to eat. Yeah. Well, yeah. I need to. Yeah. I only have really one meal a day, and I go the whole day without eating. That's probably why. I need breakfast, and it's hard. No money, juggling money all the time. Yeah, well now I can't, but okay. Not till tomorrow, no. I haven't yet. At least I haven't been to sleep today, which is pretty cool, so that means I'll get a full sleep tonight. And I think I was up at about 7, so yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. Ah. I took a whole bunch. I took a whole bunch once. Man, I felt jerked up after that. I was like I was going ning 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 ning. My whole body was like going. My whole body was going like ning 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 ning. Just pulsing. Yeah. Yeah. Have you got the windows open? Oh. Oh, really? Yeah. Block some of the sun out. Yeah, that'll help. That'll cool it down. Yeah. Leave the windows open and shut the curtains. So that would be another thing I want. I want a heat pump with a cooling function, you know, because I know how nice they are, and so with solar panels, so that you can afford to run it, you know, and you're not getting these massive damn power bills. Yeah, fuck the power bills. No, we got to have wholesome speech from now on. We're having wholesome speech from now on. No cursing. Yeah. Um. Darn those power bills. Gosh darn those power bills. Alright, is it that hot? Okay, cool. Oh yeah. Did you watch Snap? Did you watch Snap last night? I didn't. Oh, okay. I kind of went. Alright. Okay. I watched till about 9:30. And then I had it running in the background, and it was annoying me, so I switched it off and went to sleep. Yeah. It would have been cool if I could have stayed up and watched some more though. I should have just sat in my bed and watched some more rather than lied down. But I was feeling tired. It's kind of cool going to bed at 9, between say 9 and 11. It's kind of cool because you wake up fairly early, you know, and you have a whole day. Yeah, I think I do about 10 hours now, about 10 hours sleep. Yeah, uh, 10's like max for me nowadays. Anymore, I can't sleep any more than 10 really. I just wake up. I just I can't even lay there. No, I can't. Because I had, when I was suffering, what one thing I did was to sleep for like 3 or 4 days in a row just to avoid the suffering, which it didn't work. Like, I mean, I while I was asleep, I wasn't suffering, but I forced myself to sleep, and now I've got these really bad impressions of what sleeping too long and stuff. So it's kind of like a nightmare almost to sleep too long. It just reminds me of this horrible time. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I know, yeah, I kind of have spoiled sleep for myself, and by doing that, or trying to just sleep so long, but I couldn't face it. It was just so horrible. Yeah, and all I knew to do was sleep. So I'd never had this problem before. I never had anything like it before. So, and they'd never taught me anything about it. So I didn't know what the fuck was up. I mean, I didn't know what the gosh darn was up. You poor us. Where are you going? No, Daddy. No, Daddy. Yeah, Seth, God. Have you? Yeah, I need to roll another one. Yeah. You know what I learned today? I learned the word repetition. And that's how you learn. You learn through repetition, yep. So now I'm tobacco, Jesus Christ, repetition. Tobacco, Jesus Christ, repetition. It's like lifting dumbbells, you know? And you do it till you get bored, and then you put it down, and you recover your strength, and then you do it again. And you try and increase, you try and evolve it, you try and make it more complex. It's called spiral. What do they call it? Spiral repetition, where you're slowly increasing the complexity over time. Each time you repeat the repetition, you slightly increase, you hopefully increase the complexity or something. So yeah, that's one form of repetition training anyway. I think the other is just general, just like I reckon advanced learners you need say 1 to 10 repetitions, and then medium is like 10 to 100, and then stupid people is 100 plus. So yeah, I think we'd at least be mediums, and even not, and maybe even more advanced in some areas, you know. So, because there's some stupid people in the world, man. We're pretty up there, I reckon. You know, we're not fully like rocking it, but you know, we're like fucking not dumb, you know. If you include our survival, but if you include our survival skills, you know, like you've got to include skills like that, you know. So. But you can't really compare one person to another. I think the Bible teaches that too. It's wrong to compare one person to another. Because it's like a scripture. I think Paul says it. I wouldn't know how to look it up. But, a psychologist says you should be basically comparing yourself with yourself yesterday or the day before or last week or something, you know, rather than comparing yourself with someone else, because you can't really, you haven't had the same experiences that someone else has had, you know. So and it's completely, you're never really comparing apples with apples when you're comparing with someone else. So if you're comparing with yourself, a previous model of yourself, and where you are the following day, then that's a much more accurate comparison. But yeah, I mean, if the Bible teaches it, it's good to put into practice. I like putting anything that the Bible says into practice, but I'm not very good at it. Well, yeah. I think the government's kind of taught me the Bible in a way, like, because I've always just had scriptures pop into my head, and I've always thought that I've been myself, but now I can basically kind of identify them as just the government, just kind of like putting these scriptures in my head for me to meditate on, for them, you know, to see whatever pops up for them, you know. Because I've always known that I've had an interest in Jesus Christ since kindergarten, you know. So, and God and evil, good versus evil. Yeah. 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 Wow, man. Yeah, so stuff like that. I got a memory of my parents arguing and Mum praying to God about something, I can't remember exactly, but just praying to God, but she mentioned the word God, and I think I clicked on from then. That's just one memory. I don't know if that was my first event, but I've got another memory of walking home from kindergarten and thinking that money was the root of all evil. So I basically went into combat against money, trying to wipe out money. And that was like a long-term goal. But then later on, I learned that it was the love of money. It's not love. It's not money. Well, yeah, but if it is, doesn't that necessarily? If it's the love of money, doesn't that also make it money itself is the root of all evil? Yeah, yeah. Not what these pastors say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, because that's what the pastors say. They say it's the love of money, and it's a misquote. And it's not the. They say money is fine, you know. There are rich dudes in the Bible, but for me, powers is a much more functional form of transaction, you know. Well, you know, something like what Jesus had, you know, whatever he was using, that's a much more sophisticated or much more fruitful anyway. It's more fruitful than money if you can feed people like that and walk on water and instant teleportation and raise the dead and heal wounds. What else? Yeah, raise the dead, yeah. All that. So, and he says that we have the power to do greater things than that. That's why I'm so interested, you know. It's like that power, all that power. Do greater things than Jesus. Yeah, but why not now? What? Yeah, but yeah, I know, right? Have like jungles of pot. And we'll have competitions to see who has, and we'll have competitions to see who's got the best strain, so you can grow the best strain, and we'll all win. We'll yeah, there's no losers, yeah, 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 man. Mansion in heaven, man. Mansion in heaven. That's the end game, isn't it? Mansion in heaven. With the pure, because it talks about the current heaven and earth being reserved for fire. So, yeah, but in heaven you'll be able to go to earth, I reckon. Like, you'd be able to, like, you know, just step through a door and you're on earth or something, or you just think about it and you're there. And you've got your body, but your body can't be hurt this time. So you walk around on Earth and all the other planets in the universe, and then if you want, you just port back to your mansion in heaven. And yeah, man. Eat whatever you want. Oh, yeah. It's the Bible says the kingdom of heaven is not about eating and drinking, but I think it's more about power. Well, maybe, or if we're immortal, or maybe we can eat God or something, like God provides us, or we just conjure food. But yeah, it's not like not like a party like where you eat and drink alcohol, I guess. So where you eat and you drink, and yeah. So, but it's about power. So, well, another one says if there's no God, then why not eat and drink for tomorrow we die? That's kind of like saying why not just sin and why not just do what we want, and because if there's no God, there's no there's no recourse, you know, there's no, you can go around killing people if you want because, well, people are going to punish you, but, you know, like, well, people do go around killing people in Ukraine and places like that, but Putin, for example, goes around killing people on a mass scale. Yeah. See, I think the power belongs on Earth. power is God's, because to him it's something like to him belong the power and the glory or something like that. But I think, yeah, the more power you can summon, the more power is like peace, you know, like if you have power you've got peace, I think. And power, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely, but I don't think that's absolute power. Absolute power would be perfect, like, or you could say perfect power. Perfect power would be safe from corruption. And Jesus talks about being perfected. He talks, because he says something like, Herod, tell that fox Herod, I'll heal and drive out demons for the next 3 days or something, and then I'll be perfected. So he had to be perfected through practicing or by doing it, you know. This repetition thing, it says in the beginning you use a lot of energy and processing power, but as you do more repetitions it becomes more automated and it uses less. So that's why it's hard in the beginning, because you're using so much processing power and so much resources and stuff and energy. But as you practice it more, you automate it, so it becomes more efficient. The brain's really good at becoming efficient. So yeah, just tobacco and cannabis and alcohol and practice those things and make them you want to simplify but make more complex at the same time, if you understand what I mean. It's kind of like how computers have evolved, you know. They've become more complex, but in ways they've become more simpler to use. It's like in the beginning computers were really just for nerds, you know, and you basically have to type in all your commands, whereas now it's just point and click and select a setting. So that's kind of what you're building, I guess, something like that. At the moment you're only really just typing in basic commands, you know, like a nerd. You're like a nerd with a new operating system, and you're trying to build Windows. You're trying to build Windows with like an operating system inside yourself. I think sobriety is really key. I think sobriety really helps you be in touch with yourself. But learning to live with sobriety is really hard. Once you've become addicted, I know, right? It's almost impossible. Well, yeah, but that's not yet. Oh, that was another. I talked to a friend today, and it was like I explained this idea, and he's like, well, and I'm like, I haven't got technical skills to do anything like that, and he's like, well, not yet, you know, and I read that in other places. There's like in psychology, there's two attitudes. You can take the attitude, I can't do this, or I can't do this yet. And the ones who say I can't do this yet perform way better than the ones who just say I can't do this. Yeah man. So add the word yet, or themes along that line, you know, like, and I think breaking, like trying to, when you're in a really rock solid place, either settling in or trying to walk out of it, like trying to divide it so that it becomes, I really don't know. There'd be multiple strategies. You could spend time there so that the place becomes more comfortable, and then you could divide it, like, the truth, we're seeking the truth. So because the truth will set us free, you know, and we don't know if there's a God. I think if we knew there was a God, then maybe we would be able to do things greater than Jesus, you know. God would be the source of that power. But I think you have to have some level of worthiness. But anyone can be proven worthy at any time, you know. Just like, as long as you're still alive, there's still a chance that you can. Just, what are we actually doing in the world, you know, if you think about it? What are we actually doing at the moment? We don't know what we're doing, do we? And we're just existing, yeah, well that's everyone really. Everyone's just scurrying around trying to make money, trying to get more possessions, trying to have pleasure and be comfortable. But no one really has a purpose of why they're trying to be pleasure and comfortable. Everyone's just trying to live as long as possible because that's seen as purposeful and a good goal. And as we go along, we learn things, like we learn pitfalls. You know, like a whole lot of ants will fall into a pit, like drugs or something, and so then the next generation gets taught, well, this is what happens if you do drugs. And hopefully that stops them from doing drugs, or at least stops some of them from doing drugs. And then the Bible talks about weeding the planet, the angels coming down and weeding out all sin and everyone who does evil. Yeah. That would be cool. So I want an earth where there's no danger, you know, like you can't drown, you can't fall down, you can't break a leg. No one's going to hurt you, you don't go hungry. You're never afraid of being stabbed or shot or murdered or killed in so many cars stolen, yeah, house burgled. It talks about storing your treasures up in heaven, because that's where your heart will be. Because thieves and robbers break in on earth. Yeah. And yeah, bastards, man. Goddamn people, troublemakers. Goddamn troublemakers. Gosh darn trouble. Yeah, you swore. Ooh. Yeah, you forgot to say with me. So gosh darn there. Gosh darn the troublemaker. Yeah, amusing. Yeah, so maybe that's why no one's walking around with powers at the moment, because no one's worthy. Because if they did get powers, then they'd just become like a Hitler and just rule and dominate everyone yeah, make them all slaves and then make God a slave maybe or something. I don't know. I don't think God would have anything to fear from a human, even if a human did have powers. Yeah, we're weak, yeah. But then, see, science kind of says, you know, powers can't exist and stuff like that. So, you know, and technology is the way forward. I guess they don't really tell us what they're researching. They need to, like, I don't know. I followed some anatomy, some medicine and some anatomy people on Twitter today. Yeah, I followed some people on Twitter, some anatomy and medicine people on Twitter. So like I was getting all these diagrams of the human body and stuff, like anatomy lessons. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so yeah, more of those will come up in the future. I saw a really good one of how the intestines, like it showed food going into the stomach and then it goes through all the intestines. It shows, it was done. Yeah, well, it didn't show getting turned into a poo, but it just shows it going through all the small intestine, and that was kind of insightful in a way, because it's a much longer journey than what I thought I was giving it credit for, you know. And so it kind of has given me a bit of truth. There's a bit of truth. I'd recommend stuff like that. Anatomy, follow anatomy, look up anatomy pages on Facebook and stuff. Follow anatomy pages. Yeah, because I think it's a really valuable tool to know about human anatomy. I think the more truth you can, the more, because it gives you angles, it gives you like insight into what's inside you, you know, and the sizes and dimensions and where they are and stuff like that. And yeah, I also saw another cool one of the eye, and I got a bit of info about the eye as well, so that was pretty cool as well. Yeah. So I'd recommend following anatomy pages on Facebook. Oh no. Yeah. There is no money. I like that too. There is no money. Yeah, there is, but there isn't. Yeah. Have you ever tried fried rice? Have you got any vegetables? No vegetables. Have you tried fried rice? How do you cook it usually? You boil it, yeah, maybe you should fry it. Have you got oil, cooking oil? A little bit of cooking oil and fry it. Yeah, maybe it'll help. I boil it, but I saw Daniel fry it like a couple of days ago. It's his time he has. He's doing a really nice one. He had like garlic and stuff like that, chicken and vegetables and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, man, try some. Try it before you buy some food, if that's what you want. Otherwise, I mean, honestly, my personal opinion is go buy some food. And screw it, you know. Just yeah, well, yeah. Same mentality, yeah, I know. I'm like that too, yeah. I did a couple of days freaking with butts on, just butts mainly. Fuck, it was hard. Yeah, picking up butts. They were disgusting too. Had a couple good ones, but not very many. And there's so much competition with this one guy that it's just not worth it anymore. He's just there 7.24, you know. Yeah, and also the power shops really, they don't really have much of any butts in there anymore. So kind of sad pickings now. Yeah, really sad pickings. Yeah, and getting nothing, eh? Yeah, and it's a lot of work too. It's a freaking long way to Cooper anyway sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's quicker than others. I always find it quicker coming back than I do going there. I think it's because of your attitude, maybe. Like you're expecting results, and then when you're kind of walking home, you're kind of either defeated or elated, and either one of those makes it seem quicker. You're not taking in as much information. You're more satiated with your smoke or something. Yeah. Or you're cursing God because you got no smoke. I know, he doesn't deserve to be cursed, does he? It's probably not his fault, it's just our fault. But we blame God because he's the easiest target. And it's probably actually the devil, it's more the devil than God, you know. God did his best. What more could God do is probably what God would say. What more could I do? I mean, Jesus obviously went pretty hard, you know. Yeah, are you going to fry some? Okay, cool. Just measure it out. Do you measure it out? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can put some garlic in. Maybe, have you got any sauces or anything like that? Chuck some, chuck some sauce in. Chuck some sauce in. Maybe a 2-minute noodle flavour or something. Oh, have you used all the flavours? Alright. Yeah. Are you gonna boil it or fry it? Alright, okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, man. sick of food, eh? When you eat the same stuff, eh? Yeah. I've had that problem consistently throughout my life, just because of poverty. I'm really sick of chocolate. I've been craving chocolate the last couple of days. Did you? Okay. I've been craving chocolate. Certain qualities of chocolate. It's got to be a certain quality of chocolate that I eat. I found pineapple lumps really good actually. I'm going to get some more pineapple lumps. This smoke's got a roof in it. That's a bit rude. It's got a big rip right up by the filter, the tailor made. Yeah, makes it worthless if you're gonna smoke it. Double yolk egg. You need to get vegetables maybe. Vegetables pretty cheap. Goes with the rice. Cause do you get sick of rice? You put up with it. Yeah, it's just some money. Yeah. It's so annoying smoking, eh? Isn't smoking annoying? $30, man. That's a lot of food, eh? Alright. That's why you got no food. Alright. Yeah, I'm smoking, yeah. Doing it hard, eh? Yeah, man, I so could have eaten another kebab right then and there, eh? And it would have been amazing. I think I burned it all up just walking there a bit. It was yummy, yeah, while it lasted, but I was still hungry afterwards. Yeah, man, you get the wrappings and just get some mints or something. Okay. Yep. Yep. Cool. Hopefully I'll have some money too. So hopefully. Depends on the day that I come over and stuff like that. Thursday, is it? Okay. Probably Tuesday, have to be Tuesday just to make sure. That should be fun because Wednesday's my payday, so I'll have stuff on Wednesday of my own, so I won't need to. Yeah. I've already queued it up too. I had him off about it and he's pretty keen, so yeah. 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 I'm already 44. 78. Oh yeah, well, cool. What school did he go to? Alright, okay. Alright. And he hasn't seen her since. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah. When was last time you had some pop? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, cool. A few days in? 2 days? Yeah. Oh, cool. So that's something I want to do. Is like that's something I thought I could maybe look into and do repetitions of is self-control, like that ability to go a couple of weeks without smoking cannabis, you know. But then I kind of weigh that up with because it's good. It can be a medicine, but only certain qualities of it. You know, like very seldom is it actually a medicine because it's such low quality. And you need, and also if you are smoking, you do kind of need quite a bit, and it's kind of stressful when you run out and things like that. So, yeah, yeah, man, and that's why I kind of want to quit it altogether, and not just be a part-time smoker. And I think that goes in line with God too. I think that's more in line with my God values. You know, is to be that sober person. I don't know. It'd be cool if we could hear from God. You know, how do we translate God and find out what God wants us to do? Because if you knew what God wants you to do, then you know you're doing the right thing. You know, we're pretty much just left to our own devices, really, aren't we? We're thrust into the wilderness and told, make your own way. Here you go. Here's nothing. Here's nothing. Here's ABC 1, 2, 3. What can you do with that? Yeah. So we've got basic maths, basic writing, and we're left on our own. You did alright though with the university education, but you failed to capitalise. That's kind of well, that was the system letting you down though, just by not letting you finish. You know, that's all that was. Gosh darn them, yeah. Gosh darn it. I want chocolate. I got $20, but I owe my dealer $20. I could pay it tomorrow, but he's expecting it today. Yeah. Oh, he might forgive me. I'm hungry. I want chocolate. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, pineapple ops. You just saw that chocolate on pineapple ops. There we go. Bible talks about people glowing, you know, the sons of righteousness of glow, like firmaments in the sky. So I want to glow, man, amongst all these evil people, you know, and say, man, I glow. God accepts me. Yeah, something like that, you know. That'd be fucking cool, man. If you could just like, you know, and by glowing, you know, you can't be hurt, no one will hurt you, or nothing can hurt you, so maybe that's the power or something. I don't know, but we can glow. I want to glow. Always wanted to glow. I think I'm losing my glow. I'm losing my glow. No. Yeah, losing my want, my desire to glow. My light is dimming because of all the evil in the world. And my age is dimming my light as well. Being a real negative guy. Yeah. I'm really just, with my life, I'm just waiting on the government to take action, you know, and do something about flipping, because they know what I'm up to. They've like, you know, they've seen exactly, they know that I'm not going anywhere, you know, there's nothing I can do, or, nothing I can think that'll change my situation much, you know. So I'm really just waiting on this phone call, which I can put on YouTube, and it should make me an okay income, or make me slightly famous, or at least it'll be a lot of fun anyway. There'd be a lot of comments to talk about, you know, like a lot of conversation. So I think the conversation would be quite fun. But yeah, in the meantime, forget all that. I've got to deal with tobacco, right, and cannabis. So because that might never happen, they're so evil. They're just like any other evil person, you know. They just want control, and they don't care about your house or how you feel or how they hurt you. They'll hurt you if they want to hurt you. If you offend them even slightly, they'll just smash you. So that might never happen. So I've got to work on cannabis and tobacco in the meantime. How's your rice looking? Oh, cool, yeah. Cool, man. Alright. Okay. I never really tried avocado, and I hear it's really good. Yeah. I think I've tried it a little bit, and I think I really liked it, but I couldn't get enough of it. Alright. I tried, have you ever tried, figs? Do you like figs? I like figs. I tried some fresh off a tree, man, they were nice. Yeah, a mate of mine had a tree out, a huge fig tree out the back of his yard, and there were some figs on there. So the birds got most of them though. The birds honestly get most of them. So they have a party on that tree. Yeah, it's just full of bird food. And figs are worth heaps. I remember them being like $7 each or something. This was like a gold mine, this tree. It was like, if you could put a netting over it or something, you know, and you could harvest all the figs off it, you could sell them and make a fortune. Because there were so many. It was like a giant tree. It was like a huge giant tree, all with figs on it. Yeah, full grown tree. Not a little tree either, like a huge tree, not a small tree, a big tree. All figs. So maybe there's gold and figs. I don't know. Anyway, cannabis, tobacco. These are my main choices: tobacco, cannabis, tobacco, and yeah, repetitions. So the more repetitions we do, the more automated it becomes, the more efficient it becomes, and the more complex we're able to make it, and we're able to simplify it so that we can handle it more easily, So it becomes more complex and more simple at the same time. And yeah, just through repetition. That's what I'm focusing on now, is learning through repetition. I'm just going to focus on repetition because that's the only power I can muster at the moment. And I just don't know what else there is, you know. I like Twitter now. Elon Musk, did you hear that Elon Musk bought Twitter? Yeah. So he sacked after people, took away their free lunches. Yep, they were having free. Yeah, they had free lunches. Imagine working for a company that gave you free lunch, and it was a cafeteria and everything. Yeah, man. Free lunch, wow. I'd be picking up, I'd be so fat. I guess you'd get sick of it pretty quick, eh? And then you'd start eating other places because you got the money to, because you work at Twitter. Yeah, they would have served good food probably, yeah. Not like hospital food. I've still got memories of hospital food from when my hospital visits. Like I get little smells and little, like it's still being digested, you know. It's like it was like really, because in hospital you get food that you never had before, you know. And so I've got like these flavours and these feelings and associations with food. Yeah, I guess you'd call it associations with food. And some of them quite nice. Most of them are quite nice. I don't think there's any that are bad. But yeah, it's like they're slowly being depleted each time I smell it or like feel it, associate it. It's like it gets slightly depleted. Like I've nibbled on it to get that association. You know, like it burns it up or something. Yeah. So I think you can store up stuff in your body for ages. It's like THC they might be able to not detect it after 3 months, but I still think there'd be little pockets of it, you know, that would be built up and it would just release over time. But it would take years to get rid of it all, because if I'm still getting hospital sensations of food from years ago, you know, and I even got some from when I was a kid, like this medicine. I had this memory of this. I don't know if it's a memory. Can't tell if it's a memory of the food, or if it's actual. It is actually the food. You know, it's really hard to tell if it's a memory of the food or if it is actually the food that's being digested. Like I'm nibbling on, and that's the association. You know, I can't tell if the association is a memory or actually real. Yeah, that's really pleasant though. It's like just like I'm eating food. My body's because I'm getting so thin. It's using up every single store that I've ever had. You know, it's really burning. It's burning up all the everything. It's burning up everything it's got. Yeah. And so it's using stuff from ages ago and stuff that I've had stored up for ages. Yeah. Could be, yeah. Or else it could just be memories of that stuff. But then I get the sensation, like I'm depleting it. So, but then the government has the power over all this stuff as well. The government can manipulate all this stuff. So that's the third option, you know. So maybe it's just the government inducing these sensations. You've got to be aware of this technology that's out there. It's hard to believe in unless you've experienced it, but you can tell people and try and get them to believe in these technologies, but it's not much use. They just think it's too far impossible to have wireless interaction with the body and the brain, that they can read your mind, read your dreams, interact with your dreams, that they can possibly even see the future. I reckon they can see the future, man. I've had so many events where they've said something to me and then it's happened, you know. And there was that dream of that plane accident. was honestly like 3 days before the plane accident, eh? And it was just so, it was like, yeah, it was almost like when I woke up I knew there was going to be a plane accident. Yeah. I've had lots of telepathy as well, yeah. The main memory I have of telepathy as a kid, it wasn't telepathy as described by humans. It was slightly different. The telepathy I experienced, it was more like I describe it as a sheep and a shepherd. The shepherd he gives out workloads to the sheep, and the sheep process the workload. The sheep and then the shepherd, it's like the shepherd harvests. It's like, I can't remember exactly, but there was some slight twist to it that made it really well hidden, but it was really obvious once you knew the twist. But what I ended up doing in this experience was I didn't know about the sheep and shepherd at the time. It was just like I was like this one dude. I ended up laying my life down for all the people that were under my charge, like all the people that I called them people that loved me. So I laid my life down for anyone who loved me, and they were like, I would analyze them like now they were like sheep, you know. They were just they could easily be discarded or killed, or unless you took, you know, you could choose what to do with whatever you wanted to do with them, basically, and they'd not even know. They wouldn't even know. They were just like blind, dumb animals, you know. But yeah, I gave them eternal life. I set them processing to get them eternal life. That was the first thing I set their task. That was the first task I set them, was eternal life. And I laid my life down for the sheep. And immediately after I laid my life down, I was the bottom sheep. I call them sheep now just so that I can identify them. But I wasn't using the term sheep at the time. I was like pictures and stuff. I laid my life down, and as soon as I laid my life down, there was this something like I just remember, I think he had glasses. It was like a picture of a man coming along, and he casted like a blind spell on me, and he like blinded me. Yeah, it was like this blindness. Yeah, man. And I was like the weakest sheep. He was like picking. It was like, you know how the lions always go for the lame or the weakest. The weakest one. Because I'd laid my life down, I was the weakest. And so he was like this wolf coming to, like, preying on the weak, and yeah, and I was like, well, he cast blind on me, but it fell short. It was on a timer kind of thing. Like it failed to encompass me completely. I was going to be able to burn it up with time. I was going to be blind for a short period, but I was going to be able to burn it up. His spell, like it didn't encompass me. I encompassed it, but it was still like a kind of confusion and a blindness. I think it had element of confusion that came with the blindness. Like, it's almost like you see in the cartoons with seeing stars, kind of like, you know how stars go around your head when. Yeah, it was kind of like that. The blindness was kind of like that, like seeing stars going around my head like that. Yeah, like he'd like come and cast this like blindness spell on me. Jesus talks about he came to make the blind see and those who see blind. Yeah, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but this guy was basically a bad guy. You know, to me he was a bad. He wasn't Jesus. He was a bad guy. And he was picking on the weak sheep. And if I hadn't laid my life down, then I would have lost the sheep, you know. And I wouldn't have had a complete flock. I wouldn't, like I wouldn't have had one flock. I would have always had like a missing piece. Yeah, and that piece, it would have haunted me for all of eternity, this missing piece. Because it would have been one thing I wouldn't have been able to do in eternity, and it would just like build up and, I don't know, it's, yeah. But yeah, I gave the sheep eternal life. I said to them about processing eternal life, and I became the weaker sheep by laying down my life, and it was all through, this was all telepathy. And I summarised that the sheep was the people that loved me, and yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the twist on telepathy wasn't like communication. It was more like power, I guess you'd say. It was more like, yeah, processing, like a network, like but you've got one person in charge who's in charge of the whole thing, and he can do whatever he wants. They're like, the sheep are almost like captives, they're almost like well, they're like sheep, they're like dumb animals. They don't know what to do, and yeah, I don't know. That was a cool vision though. But again, that could be just the government technology doing that, or that could have all been played out through just technology, And all these pictures and visions I had, it could have all been technology. Just because I've got memories of the technology going back to kindergarten. Like now that I know about it, I can look back through my life, and I can see all these events in my life, and I can see, yes, well, that's most likely actually technology, and not what I thought it was, Yeah. But then there's events that are so borderline between either God and technology that you just can't tell either way, Yeah. And there's things that you want to be real that probably aren't real, There's like desires that make you want them to be real, but they are actually just technology. So, yeah. It's really hard. And of course, I have no control over these things. I've never really had any control over these things. I've made choices, but yeah, they've always been thrust upon me. Yeah, I really do feel my life is dimming though, like with my attitude and stuff towards God, and lately it's really bad, man. Yeah. Well, I'm really at a roadblock, I'm just so stuck. I guess I'm the road. It's not too much of a roadblock because I've got stuff to do in the meantime, that can help me get further. I can further myself, and that stuff is like cannabis and tobacco, I can do repetitions, and I can think about that as much as possible, and work on that as much as possible, and that's like a bit of freedom waiting to happen, Yeah. And it's a challenge as well, you've got to, if that's what God wants you to do, then that's what you got, or if that's what's in the way of getting to God, then that's what you got to do, So I just got to deal with smoking, and that'll hopefully lead to the next puzzle or event or whatever I have to do next. Once I deal with smoking, I can then move on to the next ticket. Which is, yeah, so I want cannabis, tobacco, and Govts. Govts is a mental health drug. So I want to get off all three of those, and then see how I am. And then that'll provide food and time. It'll provide food, it'll provide a couple things, food and time. And with that food and time, I want to work on ideas for a house, like making money, getting you can pick up houses for about 550,000. in Marston, about 550. Between say 550 and 600 is what you pay for a house in Marston. You can get cheaper, of course, but yeah. So I want to aim for a house, but yeah. First step is tobacco, then cannabis, then for pixel, then just sobriety for as long as possible, and that'll provide food and time. And with that food and time, that should boost my energy levels enough to have motivation to be able to make money, you know? Yeah, with the extra food, like, cause I think it's like a fitness, it's almost like a fitness thing. You learn how to not have much food, you know? Your body becomes efficient at not having much food, so when it does have a lot of food, it's really good at using it. So if you've got a constant supply of good food, then it should hopefully utilise that food really well. I don't know, maybe. I think the Bible talks about the furnace of affliction, the burning off the dross with the, like suffering, basically, you know, causing you to suffer so that it burns off the evil. Yeah. And it talks about suffered done with sin. So basically, if you've suffered, then you're never going to sin again. I think because basically sin is associated with suffering. You know, like if you sin, then you know that if you sin, you suffer. So and because you've suffered, you know to avoid all suffering. Like when you're placed right in the center of suffering, you learn to avoid that suffering. Eh? Yeah. Eh? Yeah, 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 man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so suffering teaches, I guess. I guess that would be what I'd say. Suffering teaches. What it teaches, I don't know, but it must be a damn good skill because that's how hard suffering is. So it's a good skill, you know, to suffer well. I think the Bible talks about suffering well. I haven't suffered well, I don't think. I don't know. Suffering's been so great though. It's been great. Great suffering. I know, right? Fuck. I mean, gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Good old suffering. Yeah, we welcome you, suffering. You're so great. We love you. I want more. Give me all you got, man. Gosh down there. Gosh down there. There's some people, it says the Bible says some people go up to their destruction, you know, that's what they're like. They'll like, you know, they'll buy a new motorbike and then they'll go really fast on their new motorbike and they'll crash it and that's their destruction, you know. So, stupid things like that people do. Car accidents and new car accidents. Yeah, be walking. I got a sore foot. I got a wart on my toe. It's so annoying. It's right. It just hurts all the time. Yeah, it's my only wart. It's right in the middle of my toe. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. Right. It's a virus. I think it's a virus, isn't it? I guess so, yeah. Might help it. Yep. Doctor costs money, though. Who can afford a doctor, man? $12.50, that's cheap, man. Yeah, that's cheap. Oh, yeah. That's really cool, that doctor. Oh, cool. Alright. No, you can't say that. See, this is where repetition comes in. So now you've just said that. So now you've got to counter yourself with another, with logic or something. You've got to say, oh, my life would be better without pot. You know. You can't say, I wish I had some pot right now, because that kind of brings you down. You know. It's like lowering yourself. As we know it, we don't know. See, maybe we are. Maybe cannabis does this. Do I can make you more intelligent or something? But I don't think it does, you know. I think the feeling that cannabis gives you is an illusion. It's like you're chasing the dragon. Have you ever heard that term? As heroin users use it. It's like they'll have their first hit and it's so good that they never go back, but they're always chasing that first hit, and it's never enough, you know. They never get that first hit. Yeah, pot's the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So that's like me too. That's what got me tasting it the first time I used it. I was just like laughing. So yeah, I was just tasting it from then on. It was like first time addicted almost. You know, almost. If I'd been warned that it was addictive, I might have stood a chance. So I would have moderated it a bit more. But I just dove straight in thinking it wasn't addictive. You know. That's how I avoided alcohol. I knew alcohol could be addictive, so I didn't want to drink that. And I never liked it anyway, compared to pot. You know, I was always a pot fan. So, yeah. Yeah. Cannabis, tobacco, cannabis, repetition. You just gotta keep coming back to it and triggering it, I think. That's what you gotta do, just keep triggering it. Oh, that was another strategy I wanted to undertake as well. I wanted to see if I could, like, just totally not think about smoking. That's kind of how I did it last time. I just didn't even think about smoking. Like, I just concentrated on playing my game, and that's what I did all day. I don't think I could do that with my game nowadays, because it's like many years later, you know, and I've played it a lot more, and it doesn't hold the same sort of appeal that it used to. But I think I can not think about smoking, and that should help me, because as soon as you start thinking about it, that leads to wanting to have a smoke, you know. I think that's what happens. And I think I was able to come up with the ability, or to summon the power, to just have to be able to not think about it completely, and almost completely, and be able to get rid of it quite quickly, like the thoughts of smoking. I think, well, that's another strategy I'm going to try anyway, and just try not to think about it. And if I do have a thought of having a cigarette, just eliminate it as soon as possible. Just go, nah, don't think that. Right. Yeah. 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 So I'm going to try that with smoking. Hopefully have some joy with smoking. I've smoked quite a few cigarettes today. I don't know how, but I have. I gave a couple away. Yeah. Yeah, no, to this guy I met in Caprini who was a butt guy. A guy who camps with butts. Gave him a couple, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's often given me smokes, so, you know. Yeah, he's a good guy. He seems alright. But you always see him around Caprini picking up butts. Like us, yeah. We've really got to get off tobacco, you know. It's hard though. But yeah, there's things that we can do. We can do repetitions, you know. We can practice. We can work and we can labour and we can do repetitions and we can automate and we can become more skilled and we can lighten the load. Jesus Christ is quite a heavy load on me for some reason. Only because I don't have the truth, I think. It's like a false Jesus in a way, you know, that I'm carrying around. Because I don't really know the truth about Jesus. I mean, I think I know Jesus, but I don't really know Jesus, you know. I don't know how to contact Jesus or hear from Jesus or anything. I don't think anyone on the planet does. Or if it's even possible, we might be just dead and just another dead person, you know, so... Yeah, exactly. The way we feel, the way we feel sometimes. Just another man, yeah. Exactly, that's all it could be, you know. And all the other religions have just fed off that one. And gotten out of hands as well. So the whole thing's a big lie. Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. Yeah, more people like him, eh? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they should. Why is it just him? You think his disciples would have had more of a record of what they got up to? You know, they would have maybe had powers like his as well. There wasn't much record. I don't think there's much record of what his disciples did after he died. So you'd think they would have caused the ruckus if they saw him resurrect, you know. There's all sorts of pitfalls in it. I don't even know why I taste it sometimes. It's so frustrating. But to prove it one way or the other, you know, that's the thing. Whereas at the moment the whole world's in limbo. You know, and that's more dangerous than being proven one way or the other. Because it just leads to all sorts of different weird thoughts for everything. Because there's no foundation. Sometimes it makes perfect sense, like the Bible, and other times it's like a juggled mess, you know. Sometimes it's perfect sense, sometimes it's horrible. It's like a devil's Bible and God's Bible, you know. And you're kind of reading them both at the same time. Or it switches from one to the other and you never know which is which. Yeah. It does talk about it being the second coming being like the days of Noah, you know. In the days of Noah, everyone was just, you know, basically partying away and having a good time, and then they all died, you know, because the flood came. So that's what it talks about the second coming being like. It's like everyone's just going about their business, getting married, partying up, and, you know, doing whatever they want to do, and then he turns up and we're all judged, and yeah. But I think we can hope for a mansion in heaven, you know. Imagine a mansion in heaven, wouldn't that be amazing? That would be cool. perfect body, like pretty as, you know, everyone's really beautiful. No ugly people, no lies, no pain, no suffering. Entertainment, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to eat. I don't know, there'd be different rules in heaven, but I'm sure it would be a really good life. I can't imagine what it would be like though from where I'm standing on earth at the moment though, can you? I can't imagine a paradise. It just seems so far away, you know. That's something to hope for. It's always in the back of your mind, you know, maybe no matter how bad it gets, maybe things can happen like that. Yeah. So you'd think if the atheists were right, then they'd be able to prove their case, and you think if the Christians were right, then they'd be able to prove their case, you know. But it's kind of a stalemate at the moment, and each side just holds their own belief, and they just put up with each other, and try and convert each other. They have arguments and try and convert each other. And people go back and forth between the sides, you know. Some people who are Christians become atheists, and some people who are atheists become Christians. How'd your rice turn out? Oh, it's nice, is it? You like it? Oh, you fried it? Did you fry it? Oh, you didn't fry it? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, well, as long as it's yummy. Oh, at least it's yummy. Yeah. Yeah. I know, right? I prefer hot meals too. Unless I don't mind sandwiches, like really good quality, like heaps of good quality ingredients in a sandwich with really fresh bread. And filled rolls, like I really like some types of filled rolls and some types of buns. I like the bread that they're made from. Yeah. Cool. Cigarette, yeah. I'm gonna have another coffee soon because that'll give me a buzz. Oh, cool. Got a kettle yet? No kettle. Coffee. I got some Pam's coffee at the moment. It's not too bad. It's quite nice. It's only like $2 a packet. It's quite strong, and it feels when you make it quite strong, it like gives you quite a cool buzz. It's quite satisfying. Yeah. Yep. I'm really starting to enjoy coffee now. I didn't enjoy coffee. I was on Milo for a while because it was always upset. Coffee used to always upset my stomach. But once I started taking those probiotics, that's when it fixed it. I'm pretty sure those probiotics enabled me to drink coffee again. Yeah, so they do help, eh? Yeah. I'll bring some more over for you when I come over too. Yeah, I got some today, so yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, it's warm here too. It's really warm here. Yep. Oh, you do get sleepy sometimes, eh? Yeah, I hate that. Oh, it's good if you can lie down and there's a genuine sleepiness and it puts you right to sleep. But it's annoying if you've got to stay awake and it makes you sleepy. Yeah. Yep. Smoke time, is it? Okay. Yep. That's why I want a house with no sunlight, air conditioning and no sunlight in the afternoon. So yeah, because otherwise it gets too hot. I reckon if the sun's beaming directly into the lounge, it just gets too hot. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't. Hot. Okay. They really should have put a heat pump in rather than a heater. Stingy bastard. That is stingy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they were ordered to, yeah. Yeah, I got a house inspection on Friday. It sucks. It's gonna be such a mission. Yeah, I threw out some rubbish last night. Yeah, across the road, because I ordered to, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Ah, did you use someone else's bin or was oh just yours? Yeah. I used someone else. I used the bin across the road. Yeah. No, I don't buy rubbish bags. Alright. Oh, it's free. Cool. Yeah, five or yeah, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you just put it in a bin and it's paid for. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, they're like 350 each or something. big's the bed? How big's the bed? Okay, cool. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Smoke, 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 smoke. Oh, okay. I went to a lighter really quickly. I don't know why. It wasn't easy that much. Just didn't seem to be very full, but that was all. I mean, it lasted a couple of weeks. Easy, like a month or 3. Yeah. No. Yeah, it was a dud. Yeah. Just yeah. I just remember buying a lighter and thinking, well, and it just wasn't very long ago at all. So yeah. There might be someone at the door. I don't know. And even if there isn't, I'm gonna make a coffee. Repetitions. I could use some more weed now too, actually. The weed I had today was really good. Anyway, so yeah, kind of like I almost don't need any in a way. Just hungry now. Yeah, yeah. Lost my coffee. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to. I think I finished. Pack it off. So I could open a new packet. I bought a packet earlier. That's all I need, just to be able to not get in it. Even for a couple of weeks, then I'd be free of it, you know. They need it. I mean, why have they put the price up so much just to keep selling it, you know? Just yeah, yeah. Cannabis, tobacco, what's the word? Cannabis, tobacco, repetition. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Helicopters. Well, there is a war. There's definitely a war, but it's not like a military, like a gun war, you know? It's more like a spiritual war. And it's between good and evil. I think there's a war going on between good and evil, you know, if you think about it. That's what the Christians say. I think that's kind of true, you know? It's kind of like... But the Christians aren't good either, you know? The Christians haven't got it right either, so that's why they're kind of not being successful. Because they're trying to incorporate some of the evil. Or, I don't know. How do we contact God? How do we... If we could... Prayer, yeah. It talks about our prayers just going up in smoke. Like, to me it means like, just being so... No matter how much how big we thought our prayers were, they're just really small compared to what God's able to actually do for us, you know? So no matter how big you think, you're only really thinking quite small in comparison to what God's able to do. And it's like why the prayers just they go up in like an incense, kind of like an incense, a nice smell to God. But if the spirit's more real than this, like, we struggle to imagine a place that's more real than this place, you know? But that's what paradise would be, like where God lives, you know? It would be a place that's more solid and more real than this place. But for all intents and purposes, this place is really solid and really real, you know? Like, it's as real as we can... It's pretty real with the suffering that's out there, you know? It's like it's a real thing. Jesus came to testify that the world's evil. It is evil, eh? Yeah. I don't think he needs our testimony. I mean, we could probably forward our testimony, but I don't think he needs it. I think he can accomplish, because it's just evil. I didn't perceive it as evil as when I was a kid. I had some conceptions of it, but not just how evil it is, you know, not nearly as bad as what it is. And the way it disguises itself, it like leads you along pretending that it's not evil, you know. Some people get it differently, but for me, some people are just exposed to the evil from an early age, and that's all they ever have. But for me, it was like being in a paradise and then suddenly being dropped from that paradise, from being, you know, in a top echelon paradise to being dropped into a hell, you know. It was like that. So, and like this evil just suddenly sprung up and goes, I've got you now, and there's nothing you can do. So, yeah. It was a big surprise to me. But I should have known. I should have been a little more wise. I think it's like that for a lot of people too. A lot of good people don't realise how evil the world is because it's so good to them. It treats them really well, and it's like fattening the calf, you know. It'll feed them lots of good, but it's only really fattening them so it can slaughter them, you know, for a meal. I think that's how it treats good people, the earth, and that's why that's one of the ways Jesus testified. That it slaughters, it kills righteous people, you know, it blinds righteous people, and it feeds them, leads them to the slaughter. Evil people have kind of an advantage at the moment, though, don't they, really? Because they have the ability to inflict pain and death. And that's the weapons they choose to use. Whereas we choose other weapons. Pain and death are quite powerful weapons. But the Bible says love is just as strong as death, you know? So I think practice of love and also repetition of love. Repetition of love, like bringing up memories. I think memories can be treasures in heaven. They have some form of treasure in heaven, because often you can be in a really sad place and have a good memory, and it'll make you feel a bit better, you know. When you remember a good time you had, I often do that sometimes. Yeah. Smoking. I want to focus just on smoking rather than cannabis. Cannabis is secondary, or is the next step. Smoking is the first step. Cannabis, you've kind of got cannabis under control. You should be, maybe. How's your alcohol at the moment? How are you feeling about your alcohol? Have you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, that's something you need to work on with repetitions. And like I said in the beginning, it's really hard, like, because you're using a lot of energy and a lot of processing power and a lot of resources. So it might seem like it's really hard in the beginning, But the more you practice, the more repetitions you do of imagine like a do you know what the infinite symbol looks like? Yeah, like a figure eight. Yeah, that's an infinite symbol. Yeah, figure eight. And kind of imagine your body like that, and the beam of light like traveling to every single, and it does a complete circuit of your body, and each time it does a circuit, it adds little bits and pieces here and there as it travels along, and each time it does a circuit, the road becomes slightly more worn, and it becomes stronger. So it's like, yeah, it's like if you traveling to every part of your body somehow. I think the Bible talks about this. I'm trying to convey something that's in the Bible, but it talks about like something like a light that travels, does a complete circuit. It goes from one end of the heavens to the other, and it brings light to wherever it goes. You know, so yeah, that's what you want inside you. You want something that brings light wherever you go. And yeah, you got to walk. That's another thing with repetitions. You've got to walk while you've got the light, because sometimes when you feel like not doing it, that's when you haven't got the light. I think when you first wake up in the morning, that's when you should really make a concerted effort to concentrate on smoking and drinking and the things that you want to do, because that's when you have the most energy and that's when you're most refreshed. Because as the day goes on, it gets harder and harder to instigate things. You're more on autopilot, whereas when you're fresh, when you first wake up, you've got more resources to spend, and you've got more freedom. I just believe you have more freedom in the mornings when you wake up, when you first wake up. Yeah, and as the day goes on, you lose your freedoms because you get more tired, and because you're tired, yeah, things are harder to do, and you become weaker as the day goes on. So yeah, concentrate on alcohol, cannabis, tobacco, like maybe not first thing in the morning, but give yourself half an hour to wake up, maybe have a couple smokes, put a patch on, have some vapes, have a coffee, and then do your teeth, yeah, and then sit down and meditate try and get onto it as quick as possible, but do your shit first, you know, get shit out of the way first. Yeah. And then every now and then change it up. Every now and then change it up and do your shit. Do like meditation first and then do your shit, you know. So so you wake up excited about wanting to do it, so you do it straight away. And yeah, because if you're waking up excited about wanting to think, you know, that's when you've got something happening, you know. Um, yeah. I think I wanna I wanna concentrate more in the mornings. I think I've got more freedom and more energy to spend in the mornings, so I wanna be more aware of what I should be doing in the mornings. And rather than leaving it till later in the day when it's a lot harder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Add, just add, yeah, add like quitting smoking thinking to your morning routines. It's hard, alright. Yeah, 2 days is good, man. 2 days is awesome. But that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It shouldn't be hard. It should be. We should be able to get to a point where we can just quit, and we have no, like, that's what Mum did. You know, she just quit and she didn't look back. You know, you just don't look back. You get to a place, but to get to that place, you've got to practice, labour, work, repeat, and practice, and just do everything possible. Just throw everything at it. You know, and because I'm in a place at the moment, I'm really addicted to smoking, and I just don't know how I'm possibly going to quit. But I'm yeah, we have to, yeah, because we've done it before, you know. So, But we were younger though, and we probably had a better mind back then to be able to quit back then. In some ways, yeah. Um, la 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 la. Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. Yeah, that's what I was aiming for. The Smiths. Yeah, and Smith. Yeah, the only female. Yeah, and Brainy. I like Brainy. Brainy was my favorite. Yeah, and she was real gorgeous. She was real attractive, like a blonde in high heels. You know. Yeah, and every single Smith after her. Yeah. And then they became friends with Gargamel in the end, eh? I believe they did, yeah. And Gargamel ended up helping them and stuff. Like he would help them against the bad guys. There were new bad guys, and so Gargamel would help them against the new bad guys. Yeah. And Azrael became friends with them as well. Azrael was the cat. Yeah. Yeah, the Key Bears were cool. I went to the Key Bears movie. One of the Key Bears movies. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, they had heaps of movies. They did heaps of Key Bears movies. Yeah, Color the Moon. Yeah, I like the heart Kibir was my favorite because he had the strongest power. The heart Kibir, yeah, and all the others were just like minor kind of powers. But the heart one had like he had to be he was like he had trouble operating it or something or trying to get it to work, and that I think that and that was the moral. You had to have like a whole heart or you had to love with your whole heart or something. I think that's what it was trying to say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Simulation, tribulation, boy. You. Do 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 do. Spend the weekend. That's the song. It's quite a cool song. So yeah, tobacco. We should. I think before you do drinking, or do you think you should do tobacco before you do drinking, or you should do drinking before you do tobacco, or both? Both. Yeah, both. Yeah. Okay. So when you quit smoking, you got to quit drinking as well. Then, but you can have the odd cannabis. You can smoke a little bit of cannabis every now and then. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I reckon I recommend pot over alcohol anytime. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do stupid things, hangovers, vomit. Yeah. Um, and it's a danger. It's a danger. Like you're more susceptible to danger and stuff. More. Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you want to do both at the same time then. Tackle both. Yeah. That's where complexity comes into it. I think like if you're trying to, if you, I think you sometimes have to separate the issues. You have to focus solely on like tobacco and alcohol and cannabis. Focus solely on them, but sometimes when you intertwine them, that's how they play off each other. You know, so they can um, like they can offer solutions to each other's problems. You know, like if you solve how to quit tobacco, it's almost like solving how to quit alcohol in a way. You know? Yeah. I honestly really don't feel like quitting. I've got like a mild like headache at the moment, probably just from smoking. But I really don't feel like quitting. Yeah. But then, if you think about it rationally, you do want to quit. You know, because if you use logic and reason, then you do want to quit. But what makes you not want to quit is like this illusion, like a fantasy that you have, kind of thing. You know. I don't think it's a reality. Wanting to smoke, like it leads you. It's like a non. It's like they talk about how it gives you depression and all sorts of bad side effects. You know, that they're only just discovering. Was it? You know, they never talked about this stuff when back in the day, but they're talking about it now. How it causes mental health issues and stuff. So it's just like a dark cloud, and it makes you feel like shit, and it's a fantasy. Um, because if you use logic and reason, then you shouldn't smoke. You know, like for health reasons. For, if you use logic and reason, things like health reasons, financial reasons, time. It's not logical to smoke, is it? Right? Yeah. 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 But you still use, so even with all those reasons. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. How's your plant looking? Oh, I knew you would. Be prepared to accept getting caught, and just accept it, and just think that it's going to be a slap on the wrist. That's all it'll be. It'll be a slap on the wrist. It won't be any jail time. There's no way. You got no fear of jail time. All they do nowadays is they just go, you know, oh yep, here's a fine. I never do really. I never really do. I just throw them out. Yeah, it should be legal though, shouldn't it? Imagine if it was legal. Wow, wouldn't that change our lives? I know, me too. All my friends are pot smokers. I don't know. None of my friends. Yeah, 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 yep, yeah. and be condemned for it and be treated like criminals. Yeah, yeah. I just cap, cap, gosh darn them, couple under lights, no worries. 20 bucks a week for electricity, freaking, and that saves me $180, wow. I could afford to smoke then, like I could buy 3-4 packets of smokes a week and still be eating better, so wow. And I'd be smoking more cannabis, I'd be smoking all I want instead of hunting and pining and hanging out and all that, yeah. Withdrawals, depression, and the hatred of the hatred of when you run out, that feeling when you run out or you've got hardly any left, that dread, that's a terrible feeling, yeah. And then you start fiending to get more, and you start going through all your options, and you spend the last of your money, and yeah, or money you don't have. Food money, yeah. Um, yeah, I love birds. There's this one. Whenever I go to the dairy, there's this one house that has like a sparrow on the wall, with like has like it's like a bronze sculpture of a sparrow on a branch or a tree, and there's always there's like you walk past and this big flood of sparrows will go and jump into this tree that's next to the property, so they must always get fed there. That's why they hang out there. But I love the thing that makes it for me is well, the one thing is all the birds and they're just always there. They never leave, which is really cool. That means they really love the person that's there. And the sparrow on the wall, the way she actually it's like a godly shrine or something, kind of almost. It's like the shrine of sparrows, shrine of sparrows. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's something I'd like to do. I'd like to be able to feed the birds every day and build up a big following of birds. Build up a huge following of birds, so they know where to get a meal and they'll hang around all day and they'll be all chirpy. Yeah, yeah, man, awesome. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure they like as you're walking down the road, they'll if they know you, if you're friendly to them, they'll alert other birds that you're coming. Yeah. I love more books, yeah. insects interact with you as well. Oh wow, wow, cool. Yeah, there's definitely more to the world than what science says and what the rich people say, you know, in terms of relations with animals and stuff. But they treat them really horrible, all those rats in the cage and all those rabbits and stuff they do experiments on, you know. All those rats, yeah. Yeah. Yep. God said he's unhappy, he's not happy with the sacrifice of the fat of rams and bulls or something. Which to me means he doesn't like us eating cows, you know, like, yeah. No, we shouldn't be, should we? We should have something else to eat. Well, for me, again, it gets back to being like Jesus, you know, having the ability to conjure food, you know, and having the ability to just like magic food, yeah, magic food, make food appear out of nothing. Because that's what reality should be. You shouldn't have a shortage of something that's so basic, you know. No, I believe that too. I believe we shouldn't be paying for food. We shouldn't be paying for food or housing. Anything that's in this, yeah, it should be free. Yeah, should be part. You're born on the planet. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah. There shouldn't be profit in food. It should be like supermarket. It should be charity run. There shouldn't be profit in a supermarket. Yeah, supermarket should be not for profit. Yeah, that's how I'd run a supermarket, not for profit. Just to feed people because it's a necessity, and housing almost comes under that as well. This renting situation is totally bogus, man. Gosh darn it. Yeah, yeah. Grow some weed. Yep. Legal weed. Grow legal weed because it's illegal. Yeah, imagine that. Legal weed. Wow, that'll be the day. Yeah. Smoke in my backyard and yeah, smoke in my backyard on a nice sunny day. Tobacco, alcohol. Have you? How do you know? Because they tell you. Alright. Ah. Oh, okay. Yeah, but they're not allowed. I don't think they're allowed asbestos in buildings anymore. They have to remove it, don't they? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. 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 Sure. Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it the spotting one? Yeah, alright. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, the birds are chirping. Yeah, the birds are chirping, meaning the sun's going down. Yeah, it's cooling down a bit. You forget summer and winter when you forget summer and winter and winter and summer, eh? It is, eh? Yeah. When it's too hot, it's annoying, but when it's just right, like spring's been pretty good. Spring's been, oh, there were a few wet days, but it's been okay. Summer gets too hot. That's why I want my air conditioning. Sit under my air conditioning. Play my computer games and Bob's your uncle. The universe is so vast, right, that we could have a good idea about something, you know, we could make a discovery, or we could, even from our position, you know, and by discovery it could be more than just money, you know, it could be like real beneficial to the planet in some way. It's just a matter of doing it step by step, you know. Because a lot of people, people do make comebacks, you know, and people have suffered, they've faced great adversity, and then they've made, you know, they've made gold out of it, kind of thing. So, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they make millions or something. Yeah, they like The Weekend. There's this singer, The Weekend. He was living on his friends' couches and stuff, and now he's got multiple videos with like over 2-3 billion hits. So yeah, he was homeless basically, and he was into drugs and everything, and now he's an artist. You know, he's a musician, and over 3 billion hits on one song, I think, or maybe two, maybe definitely over 2 billion. I think he's coming up to 3 billion. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh wow, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I need to do is just make guitar videos, just keep practicing guitar, and maybe I'll get noticed, you know, if I get any good. Like, because obviously the more you practice, the better you get, you know. So, and the more you learn. So the more videos I make, then the more chance I have of making money. It only takes like one good song, and then that can take off, you know, and that can make you the heaps of money, and that's what, you're a one-hit wonder, but still you make some money. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. What's the opposite to that one? What's the other one? Ah, okay. Uh, yeah, I need to work on tobacco and cannabis, and you need alcohol as well, and you kind of got cannabis mastered in some way. Yeah, definite improvements anyway. Yeah, it's a definite improvement. Yeah, if you don't. All right. Have you bought a witch's broom before, have you? Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, okay. Alright. Yep. 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 Oh, I see. Well, why do you need a broom? You don't necessarily need a broom just to be able to fly without anything. Just fly, yeah. Fly anywhere you want. Other planets and stuff. Other planets. Yeah. Wow. I play WoW. World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. Smoking. Repetition. Repetition. Tobacco and alcohol. Clopixel. Clopixel, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? They're dumb how they label them. They're trying to look impressive. They're trying to like. They're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to make you like take them because they sound impressive. That's doobie, yeah, pop. Yeah, it's like a low life labeling, eh? Not fancy, yeah. Not yeah. So we've got to work on tobacco. If we keep just talking about it, practicing, just like practice. We're obviously, if we keep mentioning it, then each time we mention it, hopefully our subconscious picks up on it and does the work for us, or does a little bit, at least does a little bit of the work for us. Because we're basically willing ourselves to quit smoking, so that's what we're aiming for, and that's why repetition, yeah, learning through repetition. So the more repetitions you do, the more learning, or the more skilled you become. But yeah, it talks about having periods of time between repetitions, so you're not just repetitioning all the time. Like, it's better if you do a period, then have a pause. What have you been meditating on lately? Okay. Yeah. Cannabis induced? Ah. Okay. Yeah. Ah. Ah. Totes. Yeah. like that too with that. I'm like, yeah, I get little, I like high pitched treble sounds. And sometimes bass can be quite cool, but mainly I like the high frequency sounds. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Birds are cool. Yeah. Tobacco repetition. So we're programming ourselves to quit tobacco. We're jumping the hurdles that we need to jump to achieve the goal. In the end game, the goal is to quit smoking, to be free, completely free from tobacco products, all tobacco products like vaping, patches, gum, butt picking. To be free from all desires of tobacco. Yeah. I'll be heading to bed soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. Covered lots of ground though, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go get some pineapple lumps. Yep. They're like $2 I think at the moment. Yeah, gonna get my craving sorted. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Alrighty, so good luck. Cool, man. Alrighty. See ya. Okay, see ya. Bye. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice, right here. Outboard. I'll turn the stream off. I forgot the stream was going after my 3-hour phone call. So I'll check and see if the stream's still live, shall I? Test. Got to turn the sound on probably. Yes I do. Twitch. Yes I do. Twitch. Yep, there we go. So the sound's still going, still streaming. So I'll stop the stream. That was a whole stream.